Students, we are looking at a question that was assessed in December 2017. The name of the question is Dill, and this question will help us to look at the residency issue in detail, like who is considered a resident in the UK, the various tests that we make an individual go through when determining their residency status, and it has a lot of employment income, the bonuses, the other assets, the other facilities like the provision of gym, workplace nursery, and the loans. Okay, the health club membership. So there are many things which are tested how to deal with the annual subscription and the occupational pension scheme. So the examiner has made a really good question. It's a past paper question that has just touched every aspect, like most of the aspects of the syllabus that we have covered so far. So we will be looking at in great detail. Then we have some bits of trading income. Basically, I selected this question from BPP, and the BPP identified that this is a trading loss question. All the other questions that they identified for trading losses have been uploaded and completed on site. They are available in the section C category. So that's why I wanted to do a new question today. So that's why I picked it. Then there is some other information related to the premium price bond and the interest from national certificates. So a lot of variety of issues will be discussed here. Okay, so it's a good question, but let's attack the residency thing first, and I will just go through the requirement and then we can start this. Okay, so here we go. Explain why Dill was treated as not a resident in the UK for the tax year 24-25. So it's a 3-marker. I would just like to give you an insight from the examiner's report on this question. The examiner was critical that the students wasted a lot of time. You see, it's only a 3-marker. And if you start explaining the automatic UK resident test and the automatic overseas test, so this is not going to help. Okay, you just have to tell why this guy was considered a not or a non-UK resident for the tax year 24-25. So, but I will take this opportunity and I will discuss all the 3 tests with you so that you get a good revision. Let's see. And this is the first requirement. The second requirement is we have to calculate Dill's taxable income for the tax year 25-26. Okay, so be careful. Like we have to see why he was not, why Dill was not resident for tax year 24-25. However, the taxable income is calculated for the tax year 24-25. So these dates have to be, or the tax years have to be remembered. Okay, let's see. Now, if we could move on, we could see this up to and including the tax year 23-24, Dill was always a resident in the UK, being in the UK for more than 300 days each tax year. Okay, so they have given us the information till the tax year 23-24 that this individual was in the UK and spent around 300 days in the UK. She was also resident in the UK for the tax year 25-26. So it's only this one tax year break, okay, where we have to decide whether Dill would be considered a UK resident or not. But the question clearly states that Dill was, explain why. Okay, so Dill was not resident, and we just have to explain why is it so. Okay, let's see. However, during the tax year 24-25, Dill was overseas for 305 days. So what does this mean? That in this specific tax year, Dill was occupied somewhere other than UK, and Dill was spending 305 days outside UK. So this clearly means that Dill does not fall in the automatic UK resident test, okay? Because the requirement is that they should be in the UK for a specific number of days, but this is well beyond that. That Dill was outside UK, spending just 60 days in the UK. Okay, now Dill has a house in the UK, so whenever an individual has a house in the UK, that is considered as a tie. So the ties thing come at the third stage when you are done with the automatic overseas and the automatic UK resident, and stayed there on the 60 days because Dill was in the UK for 60 days, and during those 60 days, Dill occupied the accommodation. Okay. She also has a house overseas. Okay. So Dill has an accommodation here in UK and overseas as well. So for the tax year 24-25, Dill did not have any close family. So we can see like how many days Dill has spent in the UK. That is 60. It's a specific category, and in which Dill falls. And when you have this category, you have to see how many ties are required. So one thing that there are no close family, but the accommodation is there and did not work. For the taxi 24-25, they say did not work, did not do any work in the UK, and was not treated as a working overseas, working full time overseas. So, not working in the UK and not working overseas as well. Okay, so this is the piece of information that we get to know. So, from this piece of information, we get to know that Dill is not under the automatic overseas or the automatic UK. So why is it so? Let's see. I've got some information for you prepared. So if we look at the automatic overseas test, we see that the individual, if the individual was a resident in any of the previous 3 tax years and fewer than 16 days are spent in the UK. So you see this first requirement or this first feature of being the automatic overseas does not apply because Dill was UK resident for the previous 3 tax years and spent about 60 days. Okay. So if they want to be considered not resident in the UK, they have to spend fewer than 16 days. Okay. So this makes the overseas test not applicable. The second thing that we are looking here, if the individual was not in UK, resident in the UK in the previous 3 tax years, so that is also not there because Dill was present in the previous 3 tax years and fewer than 46 days spent in the UK. So that also nullifies. So that does not work here because Dill spent 60 days during the tax year. If the individual is working full-time overseas with no significant breaks, this is also not correct because Dill was not working overseas. Okay, so just to get through these points, this gives you good revision as well. Okay, so I hope we are comfortable with the automatic overseas test. Now we're looking at the automatic UK test. So here the first requirement is spending 183 days or more in the UK during the tax. So this is not correct because Dill spent about 305 days outside UK. Okay. If the individual's only home is in the UK, that is also not correct because Dill has an accommodation in UK and an accommodation outside UK. Okay, has a house in UK and a house outside UK. And the third thing, working full time in the UK for any period of at least 365 days. So here, for the current tax year 24-25, Dill was not working in the UK. Dill was actually not working anywhere, not working overseas or in the UK. Okay, so we see that the overseas test is both the automatic tests are not applicable here. Okay, now We see that Dill has been previously resident. So let's see which column is useful. Previously resident. So we are going to consider these points, the number of ties. And Dill was in the UK for 60 days. So the category that we're going to look at is this one. Okay. You will be provided with this table in the exam. Okay. Between 46 to 90 days and was previously resident in the UK. So how many ties Dill will require? Okay, so Dill will be requiring 3 UK ties to be considered a UK resident. Okay, so one tie is obvious that Dill has an accommodation. Okay, so for your understanding, I've also brought the ties. What could be the ties? Like there could be a family tie. You know, a close family lives in the UK, resident in the UK, UK spouse, partner, or child under 18. They have an accommodation. That's a second example of having a tie with UK. There is a substantive work in the UK. You see, in this text here, there was no substantive work. However, this 90-day tie, which they say, 90-day tie, having spent more than 90 days in the UK in either of the previous 2 texts here. Okay, so Dill has been in UK since ever for the previous all years, as the question has given us. Okay, so there is this one tie, which is the accommodation tie, and the other tie is the 90-day tie. Okay, let's see the country tie. Spending more days in the UK. Okay, so this also does not specify because Dill spent around 305 days overseas. Okay, so Dill did not spend the more days in UK than any other country. Okay, so I hope this is clear. We see that Dill requires 3 ties. However, Dill only has 2 ties. The accommodation, that Dill has a house in UK, and Dill has spent more than 90 days in the UK for the previous 2 tax years. Okay, so I hope this discussion has helped you understand all the tests and how we use this table, which is going to be made available in the exam. Although these ties won't be available, you will only be provided with this table, as I've shared the text table that is going to be provided to you in the exam. Yes, students, I hope we are comfortable and we can explain that Dill required 3 UK ties to be considered a UK resident. However, Dill only has 2 ties, the accommodation tie and the 90-day tie. So we come back to the question here.